Hi dear students, how are you? I hope you're fine. Today we're going to talk about a new lesson. It's about arcs and chords. So I'm going to have here a central angle and I'm going to know today the arc. I have here arcs and their measures. So if I have here this small arc in the circle, this small arc is what? It's a minor arc. So I'm saying this is a minor comparing to this large arc. So I have here a minor arc and a major arc. I have here this arc, it's what? This arc has points are on or in the interior of a central angle. So arc, and we say about this arc AC. I write it like this, AC, and put the arc here above the letters. So I have here arc, what? Arc AC. As you see here, this arc AC is equal to the angle ABC, the angle ABC. So it's here the same measure. When I have here the rule of the major arc, it's very easy. It's 360 degree, which is the total measure of angles in any circle, minus what? Minus the angle ABC, angle ABC. So I can say also minus what? Minus here the minor arc. So, or angle ABC, and it's denoted here by the letter X. I have here also, this is a semicircle. What about the semicircle here? Semicircle, this is the measure of a semicircle. It's what? 180. 180 what? 180 degrees. Because here the total is what? 360. Half of 360 is 180. And I can find it here on the diameter of a circle. And here it's denoted by EFG. I can call here the arc, the minor arc, with what? With just two letters like AC. But the major arc like ADC with three letters. Let's have here an example. In this example, the circle graph shows the types of grass planted in the yards of the neighborhood. Find KLF. Find arc, measure of arc KLF. So he asks me to find KLF, this arc. I have here, what's here the rule? It's 360 minus this angle, which is FJK. FJK. So, how can I find FJK or KJF? I will here add here the percentages and get here this angle first and then subtract it from the 360. So the percentage will be 35. So I will take the 35 percentage time 360. Why? To get what? To get here the value or the measure of angle KJF. Then you'll find it will be 126 minus what? Here 360 minus the 126. So this is 126 and this is the 360, all of the circle 360. So I'm going to know now 360 the total minus this 126. So it will give you 234. So this will be 234 and this 126. I have here another example. Find FMC. Measure of angle FMC. So I'm going to do what? I'm going to take all the percentages here and multiply it by 360. The total measure of angles in any circle is 360. So you got here 30%. Okay, so I will take the 30% multiplied by 360. So we got the answer 108. I have here, what about AHB? AHB. AHB. This one. Measure of arc AHB. So how can I find this measure? So I'm going to take here 360 minus this one. So minus 25%. So I'm going to calculate first of all 25%, and then I'm going to subtract it from 360. So this will be 270. What about measure of angle EMD? EMD. So this EMD 10%. So I'm going to take the 10% and multiply it by 360. So you got 36%. Okay guys, now I have the adjacent arcs. What about the adjacent arcs? Adjacent, so they are beside each other like the segments, right? Okay, so we have here RS arc and ST arc. They are connected and they intersect each other on the variable or on the letter S. So we have here what? We have here RS arc and ST arc are adjacent arcs. So the total measure of arc RS plus ST, of course it's RT. So let's have an example to see if we understand it. I have here to ask measure of arc BD. So remember, draw this to make sure you know what's required. BD. So how can I find BD now? It's very easy. I have here two angles, 52, 97, and I have what? And I have here this diameter. So it's easy to find DC arc or measure of DFC. So measure of DFC will be 180 minus 97.4 plus 52 degrees. So this is the sum theorem, remember. So I got here DFC, okay, angle DFC, or I can say this one, or CFD, or DFC. This will be 30.6. Okay, so you got this 30.6, and here vertical opposite angles. Can you see this cross? So this is the same 97.4. So I'm going to find 97.4 plus 30.6 here will give me what? BD, the total of them. Okay guys, 30.6 plus 97.4, so it will give you here 128 degrees. Let's have another example. Find each measure. First of all, we're going to find measure JKL. So the most important thing, know the required JKL, what? Arc. How can I find this arc? First of all, I have to know that I have here given this is 25. I have here this, okay, it's written outside here 25, but it's the measure of MPN. 25 and 40, and I got here what? The diameter. So 180 minus what? Minus 40, the sum of 40 plus 25. So I got here now measure of KPL. Measure of KPL now is what? It's 115. 115. So after that, I need to know what now? I need to know JKL, all of this. What about this one? I have here, can you see this? And the opposite is what? 25. So this small one is 25. So I'm going to add 25 plus 115. Okay, the arc addition postulate. So I'm going to have here JKL equal what? Equals 140 degrees. Let's have another here required. He asks me in the same here problem to find measure of arc LJN. LJN. So I will move here LJN. All of this. Okay, what's the theorem now? The rule now is what? I'm going to take the 360 minus minus here this one, the small one, the minor. So 360 minus the total of 40 plus 25. So it will give you what? 295. Now let's have another thing. I have here the ST and the UV arcs, congruent arcs. So if I have here what? Two congruent circles, or within one circle, if you have congruent arcs like ST and UV, so or therefore ST arc is what is congruent to UV. Okay, so if I have here what? If I have here congruent arcs like this, ST and UV. Okay, so I have here what? I have here ST and I have here the same measure of what? The same measure of the two arcs will be the same. So, okay, let's see it here to make it more clear. If I have here what? If I have here congruent circles, or in the same circle like this, if I have what? Congruent central angles. Congruent central angles. This is a central angle because it's here, it intersects here what? The center of the circle. So if you have here congruent central angles, therefore I got here ED, this chord, and CB chord, what? Congruent to each other. If I have here congruent chords, so I have here what? I have here congruent central angles. So I have here also congruent what? Congruent arcs. Okay, let's have examples to make sure that we understand this. I have here the question, find arc WS. Find measure of arc WS. This is WS, so this is the required. Remember, he gives me here information, a piece of information, TV, okay, TV segment is equal to or congruent to as WS segment. Therefore, the two arcs are, the two arcs are congruent. So this is the congruent, the chords have we have here congruent chords, so we have what? We have congruent arcs. So I have here, it's given here by two expressions, so I'm going to substitute in the expressions and find n. After finding n, and this is very easy to put here the like terms together, as I told you many times before, 11 plus 11, 22, 7n goes to the other side by negative sign, 9n minus 2n gives you 2n, so you got here 2n and 22 divided by 2 n will be 11. So I'm going to, so he asks me about n, or measure of arc WS, measure of arc WS, so I'm going to substitute here 7 times 2 plus 11. So it will give you here 88. Let's have another question to make sure we understood this. Here circle, he gives you the information that circle C is congruent to circle J. I have here two separate circles, as I told you, and I have also what? I have here measure of angle GCD, it's equal to measure of angle NJM. So he asks me to find NM. So guys, if I have here that two circles are congruent, and I have also two here central angles are congruent, therefore the two arcs are congruent. Two arcs here DJ, DG, and what? And NM. We have here also the two segments DG and NM segments are chords. Chords here are congruent. Let's here find it by what? By using this expressions and solving equation. So I will find here what, guys? I will find T will be 3. After finding T is 3, what should I do? I need to know NM segment. Substitute in NM segment, which is 5t plus 1. So 5 times 3 plus 1 gives me 16. So now NM is 16 and DG also will be the same 16. And I will leave this for you to do it as an assignment. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you understood everything.